Okay, the reason why we conducted, so first topic is like importance of SAS programming for pharmacy and life sciences graduates. See, what is exactly SAS and why pharmacy or life sciences students need this type of programming? So, because everybody knows about my name. My name is Venkat Ikkurthy. I'm a statistical programmer and a data scientist. Of course, now I'm closely working with like artificial intelligence and machine learning area. So for last 20, 25 years. So before that, I worked as a lecturer for almost 10 years. Oh, like this. When you see this session, this is the flyer. We already sent it to you. And this is the agenda for this session. Of course, my intention here is very simple. Another meaning of real happiness is quality education. Quality education is very, very important. Of course, we are the winners about like meditate next hackathon at New York. Actually, our team has won this part actually. Now, this is the agenda for this session. First is, so what is exactly SAS and SAS programming and why we want to learn SAS? What is the purpose? Next one is like importance of clinical trials and clinical research and drug development. Now, regulatories like ICH, like 21 CFR Part 11, FDA guidelines, CDISC, all these things. Why the standards are required? Why we need to follow these standards? The next one is like CDISC, Clinical Data Interchange Standards Consortium. Those are all the standards. And everybody wants to get a job. Everybody wants to get a job means like what type of skills is required to become like a statistical programmer. So these skills, olden days, if you know one particular technology or one particular skills, it's okay, you will get opportunities. Nowadays, the situation is different. You need to learn multiple skills along with your graduation. That's important. And after completion of this, after learning this SAS and other software, what are the opportunities? The most important is opportunities. Then I'm going to discuss like SAS programming opportunities both in India and abroad. After that, I'm going to go with like a demo session, uh, practice session, for example. In this case, like how we are going to write a simple SAS program and how to use the documentation. Practically, I'm telling you, I got my research degree in statistics also. I worked as a lecturer for almost 10 years, so head of department of statistics. Then I am a statistical programmer for last 25 years. Also I started these trainings in 2005, I think. So then within this experience, I can say I have only 10% of SAS or 15% of SAS. Why? Because I can work with remaining modules, remaining stuff using with the documentation. SAS documentation is, you won't believe that, 5 million pages. That means 50 lakhs pages of documentation is there. So is it possible for a human to read 50 lakhs pages of documentation? No. But you need to use how to use the efficient way to use the documentation. The documentation contains concepts, methodology, examples. Examples are there. We want to use that examples for our requirement. So all these things we are going to explain this session. This session is close to 1.5 hour to 2 hours session. Last 15-20 minutes is for question and answer session. You can ask the questions, we can clarify those things. Now, what is exactly clinical trials? See, first of all, you need to think about like statistical analysis system. This is extensively used in designing and analyzing the clinical trials. What is exactly clinical trials? Clinical trials is nothing but we are conducting experiments with humans. Experiments for this phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, etc. Everything. For that case, I need to prove FDA, Food and Drug Administration, is asking only 3 questions. Those 3 questions is, very first question is it drug is really safe or not? Safe or not? Second one is it effective or not? Third one is, there are so many medicines available in the market. We need to prove that my drug has less side effects or it is more effective compared to existing drugs in the market. So if we have a perfect answers for these 3, definitely you are able to get approved for the drug. For that case, how we want to prove it? Statistics is required. So SAS full form is Statistical Analysis System. This is, without SAS, there is no clinical trials as of now. That's why I'm using the word as of now. But So it allows you researcher to handle complex statistical analysis required for clinical research. There are a lot of complex data is there. We want to analyze it. We want to prove that my drug is safe or effective compared to existing drugs, less side effects. So that one. Now, the pharmaceutical industry is heavily regulated. Heavily regulated means we are working with the humans. We are helping to improve the human lifespan. So that's the reason FDA is not like an easy task. They are going to evaluate everything, everything. For that case, is totally lot of regulations are required here itself. SAS provide tools that helps to ensure compliance with the regulations set by the authorities like FDA. FDA means Food and Drug Administration. So it supports the creation of standardized reports and data sets required for regulatory submissions. Regulatory submissions, if we want to submit for approval purpose, they need a lot of reports, standardized reports. How they want to get the standard reports, that we will discuss a little bit later. So yeah, SAS is the very perfect software. Right now, even FDA also using this software. FDA is also using this software, means all pharma and biotechnology companies are going to use this software. So that is the advantage here itself. Now, what exactly data management, what SAS is going to do? I know SAS is going to provide you data. That's what I clearly mentioned about. In olden days, if you know a little bit about small technology, you will get a job. Now, the days are gone. We need to learn a lot of things. SAS offers robust data management capabilities. What is data management? We want to manage the data, and which are crucial for handling the large data sets. Suppose, for example, if you are working with a COVID time, billions of data is there. We want to identify, we want to take it. What are the primary endpoint? What are the secondary endpoint? What is the severity levels? What is going to influence? All these things we want to analyze it for large data sets, typically in pharmaceutical research. So we need to make sure that this ensures the data is clean, well organized, and ready for analysis. So that is the reason when the data is clean and well organized, you will get a better results. Suppose data is not clean, is a dirty, most of the times data is dirty for sure. So we need to clean up the data. How we are going to clean up the data? We need to write a program. Manually, if you have 2 records or 3 records, even 100 records, manually we can clean it. But you are having with millions of records, billions of records. Is it possible? No. For that case, we want to do some programming. SAS provides a wide array of statistical tools. So you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to worry about basic. A lot of times people are having a question, oh, I need to learn statistics. No, not necessary. There are so many tools are available. You need to know how to use the tool. For example, when you are driving a car, is it necessary for you to learn the mechanism of that car? No, not necessary. You need to know how to drive a car. That's enough. Where is the accelerator? Where is the brake? Something. That's enough. That knowledge is enough. Same thing like here also. SAS is a software. It contains so many tools. You must use how to use that particular tool. It includes the survival analysis, bioequivalence tests, and other statistical tests commonly used in pharmaceutical research. Particularly when you are going to work with oncology studies, we are going to do a lot of survival analysis, tumor response time, bioequivalence, all these things we can do it using with the SAS software. Now, career opportunities. More important is career means proficiency in SAS and significantly enhance career prospects for pharma and life sciences graduates. I don't want to deviate because pharmacy students, they have the opportunities. They are going to start their own pharmacy. They want to enter into the industry, and they are going to market the drugs, something like they have these 3 traditional opportunities. I am talking about other things. That other things is like clinical trials, drug development. That area is tremendous, excellent area, particularly for even life sciences graduates also. How many biotechnology companies got success in India? Very few. If you are coming into US, as Boston, as Cambridge is there is a biospace.com website is there. You will find BioHub. In the Cambridge BioHub is just like a small place that contains almost 500 biotechnology companies. Most of the world companies are in their hub. So better you need to enter into that area. For example, for that case, SAS helps to enhance your career opportunities, and also many roles in pharma and so and so. The positions such as clinical data manager, biostatistician, and clinical SAS programmer are in high demand because we are always working with data. See, clinical data manager working with data, biostatistician works with data, clinical SAS programmer always works with data. So that's the reason wherever we are working with data, that has a tremendous demand. So for that case, what are the skills is required? SAS adds various aspects of R&D, research and development, from initial data collection to final analysis and reporting. Initial data collection means I'm see within this 1.5 hours, I am throwing too much of knowledge, first of all. So don't assume that this is just like as I want to explain. If you want to get into the corporate, you need to work hard. For example, initial data collection means draft protocol approved, then protocol approved, contract non-disclosure, informed consent. That is nothing but steady setup. Then recruitment starts. First subject, first visit, FSFV, first subject, first visit. Then last subject, first visit. Last subject, first visit means recruitment is over. Last subject, last visit, treatment is over. Once the treatment is done, we need to log the database log. Once the database is logged, stat analysis is ready. Once statistical analysis is ready, then we are going with the CSR. CSR means clinical study reports. Some initial data collection to final reporting. SAS helps a lot. SAS helps a lot. That is the reason I'm telling you, you need to learn a lot of things. That's what I want to make it very clear on this session. It supports hypothesis testing, data visualizations, predictive modeling. All are very, very crucial for developing a new drug or therapies. So my hypothesis is very simple. Null hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? Suppose I have a two products here. For example, I have a two pens here. I want to prove that. First, I am taking a hypothesis. What I am going to take it? There is no significance difference between these two. There is no significance difference between these two. That is my hypothesis. That is nothing but null hypothesis. You know what is meant by null hypothesis? The neutral or non-committal attitude of a statistician is nothing but null hypothesis. Again, I'm telling the definition. The neutral or non-committal attitude of a statistician is nothing but null hypothesis. So we are conducting the experiment. Then suppose I'm testing. Oh, my null hypothesis is rejected. That means what does rejected means? My null hypothesis is wrong. There is some significance difference between these two. What is the difference? We will discuss it later. So first of all, you need to check the hypothesis. Data visualization, how the data looks like. Predictive modeling, it's more important right now. All these things. Again, I'm telling you, pharmacy and life sciences students, how come you know all these things? This is not a rocket science. This is not a rocket science. I have like thousands of students, not even hundreds, thousands of students in the US. They are pharmacy or life sciences graduates. They are working in industry. They are working in because pharmacy students have disadvantages. First disadvantage is if they want to come to US, after 2002, a pharmacy graduate is not eligible to take NAPLAS examination. So that means you are not going to become like a registered pharmacist. That's what I'm doing. So what you are going to do? You are not going to compete with other IT professionals. So that's the reason, like what is metabolism, what is toxicology, what is adverse event, when this adverse event is going to become like a serious adverse event, all these things, you know that. But if you are going to like a R&D department in clinical trials area, clinical trials in pharma companies, you have better chances. Same thing with the life sciences students also, biotechnology, microbiology, zoology, those people. Okay, now going back here itself. No. No. SAS automates many data processing and analytical tasks. That improves the efficiency and productivity of our researchers. So that means we can analyze, we can do automation of this process. That once the process is automated, what is the advantage? It reduces the time. It reduces the time for a data analysis. more time for interpretation and decision making. Interpretation and decision making. That is the reason we want to go with the standards. Okay, what is the SAS collaboration? SAS facilitates collaboration among the researchers, providing the common platform for data analysis. Just now, sir asking about platform. Yes, there is a platform, cloud-based platform is there. You can use that one also. We are going to help you how to you are going to access those things. It's not a big problem. So make sure that, what is this summary? Learning SAS programming is highly beneficial for pharmacy and life sciences graduates, as it equips them with essential skills for data management, statistical analysis, regulatory compliance, and thereby enhancing the career prospects in pharmaceutical and life sciences industries. So make sure that whatever the skills you have it, yes, you have it. If you are having additional skills, absolutely, that will be more appropriate, more good. Now, what is exactly SAS programming? Why we need to learn SAS? This one. I told you, like, SAS means a statistical analysis system. It's a programming language. It's not a rocket science. It's a programming language. Using SAS software suite, data management, advanced analytics, multivariate analytics, business intelligence, criminal investigation, and predictive analytics. So SAS is, you won't believe, like, is a multi-billion-dollar software. And 95% of Fortune 500 companies are SAS customers. 100% of pharma and biotechnology companies across the globe, they are all SAS customers. They are SAS customers. So SAS programming allows you to for data manipulation, analysis, and graphical representation. When you see the graphical representation, you will see like this: statistical analysis, category 1, category 2, category 3, something bar diagrams, something like this. So we are going to use with the SAS, and we are going to generate these type of statistical analysis. We are going to do this here. Now, what is exactly data management? Managing the data, large data sets efficiently. That's the one thing is. And next one is like a statistical analysis, graphical capabilities. Because now, for example, if you want to buy a particular stock, you are going to check with the last 365 days how the stock is going to do. Depending upon that, you are going to take a decision. Same thing like reporting is very, very important, because a lot of times we are collecting the data. We are unable to report it. What is the purpose of collecting the data? So that's the reason. Converting the massive amount of data into meaningful information. Again, I'm using that word. Converting massive amount of data into meaningful information. That meaningful information helps to management to take better decisions. So that's the reason reporting is very, very important. Most important is security. Because we are working with the pharmaceutical data, we are working with the patient profiles, lot of security is required. Yes, SAS has a lot of data security and integration with most of the times data stored in a database. We are software here itself. You need to communicate with the data stored in Oracle database or SQL Server or Teradata or Sybase. It doesn't matter. We can integrate with various databases or even various other softwares also. That is the reason SAS is very, very, very powerful compared to other technologies. Okay, industry demand. SAS is why I told you, like for healthcare, pharmaceuticals. Like if you learn SAS and got your certification, you can open it. Your new window is got to open. There are plenty of opportunities are available, and there are so many solutions and community and support. There are plenty of documentation is available. Plenty of help is available. Millions of people are using with SAS. No, there are a lot of certification and career growth. You need to have a certification. SAS, if you have a SAS certification, yes, the chances are pretty much very high to get an interview. Again, I'm telling the word, you are not getting a job. You are getting an interview. Once you got an interview, then you need to explain your skills. Then you are able to get a job. That's the reason. Get a job first. Get an interview first. If you want to get an interview, you need to have additional skills. When I'm asking, like, almost like 40,000 pharmacy students are coming out every year. So how many people are going to get a jobs? You know that numbers. I don't want to say that numbers. But if I'm asking a question, why I need to hire you? Oh, I got pharmacy degree. 40,000 people are there itself. You need to explain some additional skill, which is related to your course, which is related to your graduation. So that's when SAS is very, very related to you, both for pharmacy and life sciences students. Efficient data handling, large data sets we can handle more efficiently compared to any other tools. So that is the reason SAS is widely used here. Now, I told you like data analysis helping you effectively solve complex data problems and make informed business decisions. So converting the massive amount of data into meaningful information. If that meaningful information is helps to management to take better decisions. So that is the one reason here itself. Now, so what is clinical trials? Importance of clinical trials and drug development. See, when you see this one, I'm going to talk a little bit about it here. Preclinical, lab and animal studies, phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3. All this is different phases of clinical trials and what we are going to do in preclinical and what in phase 1 and what is phase 2 and what is, that we can discuss in a couple of hours is not an issue. This session is not particularly for that part. Just I'm going to explain why this SAS software is useful for pharma and life sciences students. Okay, this is the process of clinical trials. When you see this one, subject, why we can call it as subject? Almost all the studies, we are going to take healthy volunteers. That's the reason we call it as a subject. Particularly two studies. One is with HIV, other one is oncology, cancer. These two studies, we are taking only patients. Remaining all the studies, we are taking subject. Now, investigator is nothing but a doctor, case report form, monitor, statistician, central laboratories, data manager, clinician. Finally, NDA. NDA means new drug application. It goes to here itself. That is the whole process. Tomorrow, when you are going for interview, hey, do you know about clinical trial process? Just you need to explain these things. So you will get a job for sure. So now, what is the purpose of this? Suppose if you want to enter into like a clinical trial, medical knowledge, advancement of medical knowledge. So clinical research is essential for advancing our understanding the diseases, their progression and effectiveness of different treatment options. I don't want to degrade anything here. Why people are coming into US for medical treatment? Why? Because only one thing is same type of facilities available in Hyderabad also. I know personally. But why people are coming? Because of their progression and the effectiveness of different treatment options. Because a lot of research is here, they know the different treatment options. It will come to India probably 1 year later or something like that. So that is the reason. Clinical research is essential for advancing our understanding of disease, first of all, and their progression and the effectiveness of different treatment options. So scientific basis for developing new therapies or improving existing ones. Simply, I'm using this particular medicine. Oh, this is good. I don't trust. You need to prove it. Mathematically, you need to prove that my drug is safe. My drug is effective. My drug is better compared to so many drugs available in the market. You won't believe like 15 years of hard work. When you are taking a medicine from a pharmacy, 15 years, first 3 to 4 years is preclinical studies. Then after that, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, minimum of 7 years. Sometimes it may be more. That means how many days they are working. Then only the FDA got approval, then the drug comes into the market. Otherwise, no. That means a lot of effort is required to get into that business. Drug development is a critical component in clinical research, leading to the discovery of new medications that can treat, cure, or prevent diseases. See, understand this one, that can treat, cure, or prevent the diseases. So new drugs can significantly improve the patient outcomes and quality of life. Now I'm working with a company. We have the product like aspirin. Aspirin is our company product. How many people are using aspirin? After completion of 65 or 60 years of age, world is accepting, every doctor is encouraging better to take baby aspirin. Baby aspirin means like the 14 mg medicine. Why they want to take it? It's a blood thinner. It prevents the heart attack. That's the reason. There is another medicine is there, Geralto. Geralto is once the person got stents, they are, of course, that medicine is not available in India, but here only it's available. So that means new drugs can significantly improve the patient outcomes and quality of life. But you, as a pharmacy graduate, you need to know all these things. Life sciences, you don't have option. Frankly speaking, you don't have option. You need to learn these things by one because you are 1,000 times better than me in that area. Because I am a statistics person. I did my graduation in mathematics, then economics and statistics. Then after that, I got my master's degree in statistics. For last 25 years, I am in pharma industry, means I learned myself. What is metabolism? What is toxicology? All these things. Suppose now you need to choose a person. If you are choosing a person to learn a pharmacy, doesn't help because you don't know programming. You don't know like statistics. I know those two things. I know those two things. I'm not going to teach pharmacy to you for yourself for sure, but I'm going to explain those things. So make sure that you should select a right person. That's more important. Right person means right guru. If you are at right guru, you never did anything wrong. If you are not at right guru, whatever you are doing is wrong. That's the problem is. Okay. Now going back here, ensuring safety and efficacy. I told you like clinical trials are designed to rigorously test the safety and efficacy of new drugs before they are approved and widespread use. So design, how to design the experiment? If you want to design the experiment, there are some principles. Those principles are replication, randomization, local control. What is replication? What is randomization? What is local control? We will discuss it a little bit later actually. This process helps to ensure that new treatments are both safe for patients and effective in treating their conditions. Their conditions. That is the reason FDA is asking, hey, my drug is safe or effective or something like this. That's one. Regulatory approval. Once you have a perfect answers and everything, then clinical research provides the data required for regulatory bodies like FDA to evaluate and approve new drugs because we are providing all the information to FDA and FDA is going to evaluate all these things. And finally, oh, your drug is good. Go ahead with no, then the drug is available in the market. Otherwise, no. So there are a lot of efforts is there itself. Now, clinical research is often focused on conditions which there are currently no effective treatments also. It helps to fill a gap between medical treatment and providing new options for patients with unmet medical needs. So these are all also it is going to be available here. And also benefits. Why it is going to benefits? The drug development industry is a significant contributor to the economy, providing jobs. First thing is plenty of jobs are available here and driving technology innovation. Every time, you will get it more and more new technology. Successful new drugs can lead the substantial financial returns to the companies that develop them. For example, if you are going with Lipitor, Lipitor is the medicine. You won't believe that how many sales are there for Lipitor. Is particularly in US is close to $12 billion. $12 billion per month, 1 billion. Per day, 30 millions. 1 million means, like 10 lakhs dollars. So that means finance because they spent a lot of money for getting research. Once the patent is expired, then the drug comes into generic. Now you will see the same Lipitor combination like azithromycin, all these things available in even Indian market also with very less price because that patent got expired. So first 10 years or 12 years or 15 years, that patent is there. That is very, very expensive because they invested a lot of money. They want to get that money back. That's one. And public health. By developing a new treatment and improving the existing ones, clinical research plays a vital role in enhancing the public health. Why vaccination comes into the picture? Polio vaccinations government is going to provide you polio vaccination for each and every kid. 20 years back, there are some number of deaths are there in polio. Now, zero. Similarly for malaria, similarly for other things. Why? Because new treatments and improving existing ones, like this. So it leads to better disease management, reduce healthcare costs, and increase life expectancy. That's more important. Public health, like scientific collaboration. You can closely working with a lot of stakeholders, like your researchers, healthcare professionals, pharmaceutical companies, regulatory agencies. We are closely working with all these people. It's not like exclusively one person. That's the reason I'm telling you, all these students, like they want to enter into corporate. Everybody wants to enter into corporate. First of all, that's pretty much is clear. How much effort I need to pay? For example, very simple logic. For example, I have a small cup here, and if I want to go to the river, I can bring only that much of water only. So if I'm taking a small cup and I want to go to this one, I want to make a big truck of water, it's not possible. Depending upon your hard work, depending upon your effort, your returns are coming up. Your returns are coming up. That's the reason you need to work hard. There is no option, first of all. No. Personalized medicine. In the clinical trials, particularly for in the US, is you will get a personalized medicines where the treatments are tailored individual patients based on their genetic makeup and other factors. This approach can lead to more effective and targeted therapies. That particularly in the US, this concept is here particularly. So patient participation and awareness. I told you like draft protocol approved, and contract non-disclosure, and also informed consent. We need to inform everything. Then we are going to give some insurance, etc. Everything. Patient participation and awareness. That's very, very important here. So finally, clinical research and drug development are the fundamental to advancing medical science, improving the patient care, and enhancing public health. They ensure that new treatments are safe, effective, and accessible, ultimately leading to better health outcomes for individuals and communities. So that is the importance of clinical research and drug development. Now, what are the regulations and standards? There are certain things like ICH guidelines, 21 CFR Part 11, and CDISC standards, FDA guidelines, IRB, all these things. We are closely working with all these standards. Why they want to put standards? Why they want to put the standards? For example, your college, they want to put a dress code. Why they want to put a dress code? That dress code is going to identify these are all our students. Same thing like this. Suppose I am going to use a data set with a demog. Somebody is going to use with DE. Somebody is going to with DM. Somebody is going to with some other name. You know what happens? All this goes to FDA. FDA is still understanding what is this data, what is this variable, etc. Everything. It takes a long time. So that is the reason every pharma and biotechnology company must follow some guidelines, some standards. They must follow those standards. Those standards here. First one is International Council of Harmonization, ICH guidelines. There are so many guidelines are there in ICH. All these ICH brings the regulatory authorities and pharmaceutical industry of Europe, Japan, and United States. Why not India? Why not other things? Why, of course, United States? Because if you are taking about 100 medicines, 90 medicines is invented by United States, and a couple of invented by Europe, and a couple of in Japan. Not more in India, not more in China, not other countries. That is the reason most of the times ICH guidelines with Japan and Europe, etc. Once the drug got approved in US, probably, Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, is going to approve those medicine with something like this. That is going to be happen. That is going to happen. So ICH guidelines is the very, very important. This is the website for ICH, ich.org. That website contains a lot of like quality guidelines, efficacy guidelines, and safety guidelines, multidisciplinary guidelines. All these things are available there itself. You can download the documents, you will get it. Suppose if you are unable to download the documents, don't worry about it. Please let us know. We are going to help you to provide those documents. That's not a problem. But definitely, I'm very positive. If you go to ich.org, you will get a lot of information about these things. Now, there are so much of documents. ICH E6 document, good clinical practice, good programming practice, good manufacturing practice, all these things. All these things are available there itself. There are plenty of documents are available. You will get it. 21 CFR Part 11. 21 CFR Part 11 is nothing but when you see this book, like, this is 20 Code of Federal Regulations and ICH guidelines. This is a standard, almost like in every pharmaceutical company, they need to give this book to their employees, and we need to follow these things. And the National Council of this is the National Institute of Health. The National Cancer Institute is providing some codes. These are all the things is required. You need to get it. Of course, some books are available at my India office also. Some books, if you are at Guntur area, you can go and you can ask our people. They will show those books. You will get some information. And see, electronic records. Electronic records means olden days we need to send these records everything by paper copies. No. Simply electronic format is enough. So we need to create this electronic format, and we need to create, modify, maintained, archived, retrieved, and transmit under records requirements. How we want to send the record requirements? There are certain guidelines. That is nothing but 21 CFR Part 11. We need to follow those things. It's not, I told you, it's not a rocket science. You easily will get it. In when you are sending the data, validation, audit trials, system access, electronic signatures, record keeping, all these things we need to follow. We need to follow one after another here. Similarly, compliance, data integrity, patient safety. Every patient has rights, protection rights, safety and well-being clinical trial participants, global standardization, legal and ethical obligations. These are all required. These are all required. We need to follow those things. That's the reason we need to follow these guidelines, these standards. See, ICH guidelines and 21 CFR Part 11 are fundamental frameworks. Tomorrow, when you want to go to the corporate, people are asking, hey, are you familiar with ICH? Oh, I don't know. Definitely won't get a job. ICH means International Council of Harmonization. Olden days, international conference of harmonization. Now they changed the name with International Council of Harmonization. They are going to provide you all these standards. Every pharma and biotechnology company must follow those guidelines, must. So that is the reason you need to. 21 CFR means Code of Federal Regulations, CFR. So Part 11 are the fundamental framework that ensure the quality, safety and integrity of clinical research. See, quality, safety and integrity of clinical research and drug development process. You must be familiar with all these things. That's the reason a lot of times people are asking me, Venkat, I learned this, I'm unable to find a job. I'm unable to find a job. Why? Because you need to know lot of things. Then, see like this, 21 CFR Part 11, electronic records. 21 CFR 50, protection of human rights. Every human has a right. You need to protect those things. 21 CFR 54, financial disclosure by clinical investigators. 56, IRB, Institutional Review Board. IND, investigational new drug, etc. Everything here. These all the documents are available. All these documents are available in Code of Federal Regulations. Code of Federal Regulations website contains all these documents. You can download those things. So now CDISC. What is exactly CDISC? CDISC means Clinical Data Interchange Standards Consortium. Clinical Data Interchange Standards Consortium. SDTM, Steady Data Tabulation Model. ADAM, Analysis Data Set Model. TFL, Tables, Figures, and the listings. So this is the pretty much standard. Pretty much you need to follow these guidelines. If you know CDISC, you will get a job tomorrow. That is the demand for CDISC people now. What is exactly a CDISC? Is again a global non-profit organization that develops, supports global data standards. Say, suppose for example, people are in US, they are going to write like MMDDYY. First two letters is for month, and the next one is day, and after that year. People are coming from India, they are going to write first two letters is DDMMYY. So that means 0, 5, something 10. Both cases are different. Here is we can call it as May 10th, there they can call it as October 5th, something like that. So that's the reason we need to follow some standards. That's very important. Why? Global data standards to improve the quality, efficiency, and cost effectiveness of clinical research. So CDISC is streamlined for clinical research process, facilitating exchange of information and ensuring the consistency of data sources across all. So that is the beauty here itself. You need to understand a lot of things here. What is steady data tabulation model? So domains, there are a lot of domains. I will explain variables and metadata. These are all the things. When you see this one, what is the purpose of these things? Ensure data consistency. Data should be consistent. For example, if in your universities, they are going to provide you certain name conventions. That means first they are going to, if a pharmacy graduate is there, for example, he started in 2020, for example, but they are going to provide you Y 2020 and PH is for pharmacy, and suppose sex is equal to 1 for male and 2 for female, 1. Then after that college code is something like 101, college code. After that your number. number. That means immediately when I see this one, first 2 or 3 letters belongs to year which the student is joined at college, and the second one is belongs to sex, how many males and how many females. The third one is with the college, how many students are in that college. Last 3 digits are or 4 digits are belongs to the particular student number. So that's what they made it. Now almost every university going that approach. Same thing. Why? Because ensure data consistency and quality. Immediately I can track how many male students are there, how many female students are there, how many people joined in this year, next year, something like that. Something I can track it immediately. That is the reason they follow these guidelines. Same thing here also. Data integration and analysis across all the studies, regulatory review process. Now, analysis data sets, those are all under traceability, standardization, and the flexibility. When you see this ADAM data sets, ADSL means analysis data set for subject level information, So subject level information. Something like metadata is detailed information about data sets and variables structure. Tables, figures, and listings. Tomorrow, when you are going to the work, we need to create what are the tables, summary tables, something, etc. What are the listings? Something like figures means graphs. We need to generate those type of things. That is your responsibility. That is your task. CDISC, SDTM, ADAM, and table, figures, and listings. That is the more important here. So CDISC standards, very simple. I told you, like data consistency, traceability, and efficiently for clinical research. Now, when you see this one, what is CDISC SDTM? CDISC full form is Clinical Data Interchange Standards Consortium. ICH, International Conference of Harmonization. Next, now it is International Council of Harmonization. 21 CFR Part 11, IRB, SDTM. These are all the definitions. When you see ADAM structure, ADSL, subject level data, one record per one subject, ADAE, analysis data set for adverse event, one record per subject, per event, per start date, per end date. So there are so many adverse events, means so many records are there itself. So this is the way how we are going to map it. Direct mapping, rename, standardize, reformat, combining, splitting, and derivation. So these are all the approaches. See, I don't want to upset you. First of all, I am telling you, you need to learn a lot of things. You want to enter into corporate. That's what I want to make it very clear on that side. No, see, purpose domains, demographics, across the globe, DM. That's enough. Across the globe, people call it as DM. Comments, that is for CO. Concomitant medications, CM, exposure, EX, substances, SU, adverse events, etc. Everything. Similarly, for here itself, ADAM structures here itself. This is the standard. You need to follow those standards. All pharma and biotechnology companies must follow these standards. So that is the CDISC part. Now, suppose if you want to enter into SAS, if you want to become like a statistical programmer, what exactly you need to learn? First, you need to learn SAS programming, SAS language. Every language has its own syntax, functions, procedures. Same thing, SAS language also have syntax, functions, and procedures. And data step programming, we are always working with data. So that means we need to understand how we want to write that program. And we are always working with the data. How we are communicating your data, you need to know about SQL, structured query language. That's a mandatory. Without SQL, you are unable to communicate your data. That's the reason Proc SQL is there. Of course, I know in this conference, we have another expert in SQL side. His name is Murthy, and probably he is going to share his experience end of the session. So that means SQL is mandatory. You need to learn SQL. And macro programming is also important for repetitive task. If you want to repeat again and again and again, we don't want to write a program all the time. Simply, we need to write a program and we need to call that program and we need to going to get it. So macro programming, proc SQL, data step programming, and SAS language. These are all important if you want to become like a statistical programmer. And statistics knowledge. What is basic statistics knowledge? Is not, you are not a statistician. I'm telling the word again, you are not a statistician. So you are a statistical programmer. What you are going to do? You are helping statistician to perform his data more efficiently. You are helping statistician to perform his duties more efficiently. So that is the reason you know how to write a program. That's all it is. So don't worry about, oh, I don't know statistics, I don't know all these things. Not necessary. Not necessary. No, pharma knowledge. This is important. What is exactly clinical trials? Swapna, can you please admit waiting room people immediately? So, understanding the basic clinical trial concepts and methods, understanding the drug and device development process, drug and device development process, different phases of clinical trials. Similarly, for good programming practice, good manufacturing practice, good clinical practice, people call it as GXP. Then FDA, ICH, 21 CFR Part 11, and CDISC. This is important. For next, clinical knowledge. What is clinical trials? Study protocols. What is randomization? Case report form. How to clean the data. Source data verification. You have a source data content. Some person has sex is equal to male. You got female. Something is there. We need to validate it. How you are going to validate it? Anatomy and psychology. Medical terminology. Common medical conditions. What is familiarity with disease, symptoms, etc. Everything. Medra and WHO dictionaries. See, all these things. You are a pharmacy and life science student familiar with all those things. You don't know this part. You don't know a programming part, but you know this part. You know this part. According to your curriculum, you have all these things. So that is the advantage. In our education system, industry is looking for people with certain skills. That skills is programming, SAS programming, and medical terminology, and clinical terminology. If you are coming with the pharma and biotechnology students, probably they are familiar with the medical terminology, familiar with the clinical trials. They don't know these two skills. If you are going with a statistics person, probably he know only statistics. He don't know programming and he don't know all these things. If you are going with a BTech student, you know programming, you don't know statistics, you don't know these things. So that is the reason. That is the reason if you want to become like a 360 degrees, which is, for your skills, you need to learn some other things from outside. There is no option, first of all. No, clinical endpoint, primary and secondary endpoints, surrogate endpoints. What is the adverse event? Good clinical practice, 21 CFR Part 11. All these things, clinical knowledge. Biostatistics, statistical methods, study design, what is parallel design, crossover design, factorial design, and adaptive designs, sample size calculations, how we want to calculate the sample sizes, all these things. That's the reason I'm telling you, it's not a rocket science. You need to select the right person. He's going to explain everything in days. In US, suppose, for example, people want to learn some programming languages. We can call it as hours. Hours means 3 days, 24 hours, 40 hours, 5 days. That's enough. We don't want to teach years and years and years and no. That means same thing like there is a serious workshops are there. In this workshop, you need to work hard. It's hands-on working sessions. Then you are able to get all that information. Now, clinical standards. I told you like CDISC, HL7 standards, clinical study reporting, tables. TFL means table, figures, and listings. CSR, clinical study reports, integrated summaries. This is a specific knowledge. If you are working with oncology studies, you need to know about tumor and tumor responses, etc., all these things. Something like patient demographics, patient population, demographic information, baseline characteristics, patient reported outcomes. That's also important, Similarly, for monitoring, ethical considerations, most important is informed consent, and the ethical considerations are very, very important, particularly in clinical trials. So by integrating your clinical knowledge with the technical skills, a programmer can better to contribute to the successful design, analysis, and reporting of clinical trials. See, understand this word, successful design, analysis, and reporting of clinical trials. Ultimately, that will support the development of safe and effective medical treatments. That's the important part here itself. So we wanted to integrate whatever the skills. I know that, for example, I know statistics. I learned pharmaceutical knowledge. I learned SAS programming. Then I want to integrate all my skills, statistics knowledge and programming language and medical knowledge, all these things. I am become like a successful programmer here. So that is the reason I'm telling you, something you know, something you don't know it. You need to correlate those two things. Then you are able to get the opportunities. opportunities. Data management, I told you like data cleaning and validation is important. Data merging and concatenation, understanding data structures and formats, we can get it. So analytical skills, the more important is analytical. Suppose, for example, I have some information. Suppose adverse event and dosage information. Dosage information means you know that we are giving a dosage to the student, dosage to the patients. Somebody is having some adverse event like headache or blurry vision, etc. Everything. I am giving a condition. The condition is I am going to define this is an adverse event. Any adverse event is occurred on a dosing date or 1 day after a dosing date, then only I am going to consider that is my adverse event. Again, I'm telling you, any adverse event is occurred on a dosing date, or 1 day after a dosing date, then only I am going to consider that is my adverse event. Suppose I'm taking medicine today and yesterday I got my headache. That is not an adverse event. After 10 days, I got something. That's not an adverse event. So that means problem solving, ability to interpret and analyze the complex data, problem solving skills to troubleshoot and resolve data and programming issues. That type of skills is required. No, CDISC, I told you like knowledge of CDISC standards is mandatory, is required for here. And regulatory knowledge, what type of regulatory standards are there, that also you need to know about, because these skills are required to become like a statistical programmer or a SAS programmer. For that case, precision in writing code and ensuring the accuracy of data and results. That's very important. You are writing a program, you are writing a code, you need to make sure that what it is going to do. Otherwise, it's not possible. Like communication, most important is communication. Ability to document and explain programming processes and results clearly. Effective collaboration with the team members and stakeholders. Effective collaboration, because for example, this session, almost like 200 or people are registered. How many people joined? Probably like 40 people or 50 people are joined. That means like, collaboration, because for example, everybody knows about, oh, this session is for India time 6 o'clock. We started by 5:30 and we put something like this. So that type of commitment is required. Ability to document and explain programming process and results clearly. Effective collaboration with the team members or stakeholders. The next one is project management, how you are going to manage the project, and also manage to multiple tasks and meet deadlines. That means multitasking is important. You are working with multiple projects. There are certain deadlines. Sometimes you won't believe it, I am working more and more time. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I'm spending 18 hours because I need to deliver certain things. There is no option. Continuous learning is required. First of all, organizational skill to handle large volumes of data and complex projects. This is like a management. You will get it. It's not a rocket science. These are all the softwares is required. Proficiency using SAS software like base SAS, SAS Stat, SAS Graph. Familiarity with other technical tools like R or Python is beneficial for sure. Version control systems, good knowledge of SQL, that's very important. Now, a degree in educational background, this is also very important. A degree in pharmacy or life sciences, computers, this is required. And relevant certification, I'm using that word, relevant certifications like SAS certified base programmer, advanced programmer, can enhance your job prospects. Enhance. Suppose, for example, when you see this one, this is the base SAS certification, this is the advanced certification. These are all the emblems for once you got the base SAS certification, they will provide you the emblems like this. Then you can put your emblems in your resume. That is really helps. For example, when you see this one, this is my name, Venkat Ikkurthy. I got my certification in 2008. Here also the same thing, 21st July 2008. I got both base and advanced in same day. Same thing, like first you need to get your base certification, then you need to push your resume. After some time later, you need to take advanced certification. Really, that will be helpful for sure. So most important is industry knowledge. For example, if I'm asking a simple question, which hospital is good hospital in Hyderabad? For example, somebody mentioned Apollo, somebody mentioned Kamini, somebody mentioned XYZ, etc. Everything. Everybody has their own reasons. But as a data scientist, I am telling you only one thing is, which hospital has minimum average bedtime of a patient, then I'm going to consider that is the best hospital. Again, I'm using the statement again, which hospital has minimum average bed time of a patient, then I am going to consider that is the best hospital. That is the best hospital. So make sure that that type of logical thinking is required. Business is required. Clinical research, finance, market, whatever, doesn't matter. So if you want to get like a successful SAS programmer, combination of technical proficiency, technical, statistics knowledge, data management skills, attention on detail, effective communication, continuous learning, and staying updated with the latest developments in SAS and other related areas is crucial for long-term success. Continuously, you need to do all these things. That is the purpose. That is the basis of you will get a success in later stages. So now we prepared this documentation long time back when I'm working with a big pharma company. These are all the technical skills which required. SAS, different versions, base SAS, proc SQL, SAS stat, etc. Everything. Certain operating systems is required. Database programming is required. Clinical data management systems, CleanDrive, Oracle Clinical, electronic data capture, EDC, Inform, Medidata, Rev. Like now Viva is came into the picture. Viva, HTML something, web script. This is working experience is a plus. This is required. This is required. And similarly, biopharma, what is unit testing? What is QC? Analysis plan review, annotated case report form, CDISC standards, 21 CFR Part 11, SDLC, other skills. So if you have the skills from here and here, 100% you are able to get an interview, 100%. So you make sure that you need to get all that information when you are. SAS programming offers a wide range of career opportunities in various industries globally. Like, for example, India and abroad, if you take about it, some key areas to roles and where SAS skills are demand, both in India and abroad. For example, here, clinical SAS programmer, bioanalyst, statistical programmer, bioanalyst, clinical data analyst, statistical programmer, analyst, SAS programmer. It turns out to be a different companies have the different names for the same job. So whatever the jobs here, you can apply those things. Biostatistician, probably statistics people are going to apply this part. Data managers, then you can apply here also, it doesn't matter. Now, there are certain areas, financial services, risk analyst, credit card modular, fraud analyst. Those things is not fit for your cases because you are with the pharma and life sciences background. This is not going to fit. But I know a couple of pharmacy students are also working in this area. So market and retail. And government, public health, using SAS to analyze the health data and inform public health policies, public health, government sector. Somebody asked me the question, is it we are going to get a government jobs? Yes, probably public health analyst, you are able to get it once you have it, once you have the SAS knowledge. Similarly, for actuarial analyst, claims analyst, pricing, insurance companies, academic, research scientist, and some statisticians. So IT consulting services, we're all working with as a consultant, provide expertise in SAS implementation and use across different industries. Similarly, we can use with data analyst also, we can do these things. Telecommunications, consumer data analyst, etc. Everything here. Now, opportunities in India. India is a major hub for clinical research and pharmaceutical companies. You won't believe that, this is the fact. Leading high demand for clinical science programmers and biostatisticians. Okay, when you go to the next slide here, Novartis is in Hyderabad. Now it is almost close to 10,000 employees. Novartis India Limited, because they moved everything, SAS programming, data management to Hyderabad. Okay, now Bayer is, they started, 3 years back, they started Hyderabad Center, Bayer. And now the important thing is here, Bristol Myers Squibb opens innovation hub in Hyderabad. See, biopharma company BMS injects $100 million to new Hyderabad center. $100 million. Their target, their target is they want to hire 1,200 people this year. They promised the government they are going to hire 10,000 people in 5 years. 5 years. So that means there are plenty of jobs. Everything is like, pharmacy, life sciences, etc., everything. You will have a plenty of opportunities are here. And these are all the companies, PPD, Peroxel, Quintiles, Syneos, Icon Clinical Research, like Accenture, TCS, Wipro, all these companies are hiring statistical or SAS programmers. These are all the companies like this. Now, key employers, Pfizer, Novartis, GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson & Johnson, Healthcare, Mayo Clinic, Kaiser Community, Financial Organization, JP Morgan, Citibank, HSBC, Wells Fargo, IT consultancies, Accenture, Cognizant, Wipro, Infosys. like this. These are all the companies, they are hiring a statistical programmer or SAS programmers. Abroad, United States is the number one, first of all. Europe and United Kingdom have high demand for SAS professionals, especially in the pharmaceutical, healthcare, and financial sectors. Countries like Singapore, Australia, Canada also growing market for SAS skills. SAS skills, particularly in data-driven industries. Data-driven industries. Next month, like July, I think 8th, 9th, 10th, there is a big conference in data-driven in Bangkok. Bangkok, like there are very big meeting, particularly for data-driven artificial intelligence. That area, they're all discussing about. Probably I may present one paper for SAS side. That those are all things is different. You have a plenty of opportunities across the globe. Firstly is United States, Europe, and United Kingdom. That, and also a lot of demand for even Singapore. Singapore also is excellent demand actually. Like, so if you want to get it opportunities, first you need to improve skill development. You need to improve your skills first of all, like certified programmer or best advanced programmer. Most important is networking, because nowadays people needs to get a job with networking. You have a friends or like you need to meet. And global mobility. Global mobility means you need to talk to people. You need to go with SAS skills are highly transferable, allowing professional opportunities in various countries and industries. So if we have like this, definitely you are going to get a opportunities. And SAS is providing both, like I told you, like multiple sectors, India and globally. As data continues to drive decision making in organizations, the demand for skilled SAS programmers is expected to remain strong. So that is the advantage. If you are going with some other technologies, we don't know when it's going to lay off and it's going to all these things. But SAS is not like that, not like this. Compared to other technologies, SAS is better. SAS is a little bit better. So these are all some of our students working in industries. Like Alekia is a B.Pharmacy graduate in this company. She is making like at least more than 8 lakhs. Funny is a B.Pharmacy graduate from Bignan Pharmacy College. Now he is with Accenture. See, these are all, we have like hundreds of people working in industries, provided like they need to work hard. That's what I'm telling you, the people, like you need to work hard. First of all, there is no substitute for hard work. So this is our India office location at Guntur. And of course, this is a little bit about my information. Basically, like, I'm here. This is our US address, and I'm both base and advanced certified, and I'm a database certified also. Recently, I got the certification. And yeah, sometimes people are asking about what type of courses you are going to provide it. First is SAS training, mainly focused on clinical trials. SAS training with the project. Many students who wants to enter into abroad, particularly for this. SAS training with the project with the placement assistance. That's one thing. Clinical data management. We are going to start a new session that is for Python, regression, and machine learning and deep learning, probably by August 1st. And statistical applications in clinical research. These are all the areas we are strong, and we are giving the training only these areas. Okay, this is our internship program, like see, classroom training, whatever exactly here itself. And this is another part. And these are all the courses we are going to provide it. And this is the syllabus for SAS training. And this one. Thank you. Thanks very much, all of you. I'm giving like a 5 minutes break. Break means we can discuss the questions. Meanwhile, Swapna is going to share her computer screen, and she is going to explain like how SAS we are going to write a program. She is going to write a program in front of you, and using the documentation. That's way you are all able to understand what exactly it is. Okay. Now, any questions? Okay, I'm going to open the chat window. I think some of the questions are there. And we are going to provide you the feedback form. Can you please fill that feedback form? That should be better. And somebody is asking about asking question like construct light on machine learning versus SAS at least. See, you mentioned like go bind. See, tell me your education and your qualification, then definitely I am going to throw those things. Suppose if you are not providing that information, because most of the people are here most of the people are here is pharmacy and life sciences backgrounds. Clinical research, Krupana are mentioned about, yes, sir, clinical research in India is far less compared to Western countries. Because of so many reasons are there itself. I know the reasons also. Now it is increasing little bit, little bit. I told you like what type of courses you are offering means. I told you like, when you see this these are all the courses we are offering. These are all the courses we are offering because our courses are more like result oriented sessions. Result oriented means if you are sitting with me for one day, what you learn. That's important. If you are spending some certain amount of money, what is your return of investment? That type of things is required to get those type of things. Okay, so these are all the things we can get it. And any other questions? Okay, you are staying in US and who is taking the classes? Is there any internships are available for offering SAS? See, you are staying in US, who is taking the classes? Most of the classes is taken by me, first of all, most of the classes. Only for lab sessions and can you please mute yourself? Somebody, noise is coming up. So most of the classes is conducted by myself and the lab sessions and everything with my staff because now I am in US. You are able to see my face, right? And you are able to see my computer screen. Everything like this, nowadays using with the technology, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. 100% we are going to take this. Anyway, I'm coming into India also. We can do that. And the next one is, do you offer R program advanced to SAS? Do you offer R program advanced of SAS? So I'm telling that word as of now today, FDA is using SAS. FDA is using SAS. What is happen tomorrow? I don't know. But whereas as of now, yes, R is going to replace. Probably R is going to replace after 5 years or 10 years, it is going to replace for sure, probably. So I don't care about it. If I want to learn something, I need to get a job tomorrow. I want to make money tomorrow. That's what my philosophy is. That's the reason, as of now, SAS is good. Probably after some time, I don't know. Yes, R is good. R is a good software. Even I am using R software for creating the dashboard applications, but generally like this. And generally, people say there is no openings for freshers. There is no openings for freshers means, for example, when you see the Funny is a B.Pharmacy graduate, he got opportunity, and Alekia got opportunity, Ramya got opportunities. Because if you have a good skills, 100% you are able to get the opportunities. If we don't have skills, no, we don't. You are not able to find a jobs. Machine learning versus I am from biotechnology third year. So you are from biotechnology third year means, so think about it. If you want to go to machine learning, you need to understand like regression, predictive analytics, Python programming, those things are required. If you are working hard and you can learn all those things, so definitely you will get the opportunity there itself. Veka is the tool used for clinical data analysis, where from we obtain clinical data. Sorry, sir, I don't know because I know a couple of tools, data analysis tools, but I never used that WEKA tool, but I can figure it out. I can figure it out and I will give that, this much. Currently, any internships are there, sir? Internship means there are two types of internships. Because internship, 6 months internship training, we are going to provide it. That is totally different different concepts. Like, because Sagar, which college you are from? Which college you are from? And what is your education?
So, B.Pharmacy, AU College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Andhra University.
Andhra University. Okay. So that means, think about it. You are doing your B.Pharmacy. How many people got internships? Very few. Very few. That's almost zero, frankly speaking. Suppose, for example, if you want to come to the corporate, call me sometime later. Come sometime later. Call me, or you can join with the Zoom. I'm going to clarify your questions. And I have done 6 months internship SAS with some Amirpet, Hyderabad. Is there any vacancies, sir? Just please let me know. See, that's the reason I'm telling that word is like, who is your faculty? Where you learn these things. Who is your faculty? Where you learn this one? Suppose that's the one thing is, suppose even if you are learning 6 months or 1 year, the 1 year, if you are not able to find a job, operation grant success, patient dead. That is going to be happen. So that is the reason you need to make sure that these are all the skills is required. It's not like just learning SAS. You need to know about SDLC. You need to know about like SQL. You need to know about GitHub version control systems. You need to know about like MS Office and Acrobat. All these things is required. For that case, you need to go with the right person. That's the more important. Okay. Now I'm going to stop recording this session, and then I will ask Swapna to start a session. Just give me 2 minutes. Then I'm going to share her session. Okay, so, Swapna.
Yes, sir.